Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about an item from SmallRig, which is an updated version of their camera cage for the Canon R6 and the Canon R5. With this redesign, it looks like this cage has been more specifically tailored to the R5 and the R6 body, giving it a much better overall fit than what the previous cage was, and overall giving it just a better design in general. Now, anyone who's been in videography or photography for any amount of time knows that SmallRig is one of the main companies that are the go-to manufacturer for camera cages for all brands of camera. It's the brand that I've used for years on almost every camera that I've owned. Now, in the few weeks that I've had this cage on my camera, I can absolutely say that it feels great on the unit. It fits really good to the body. It feels more natural than the previous version of the cage did. And honestly, it feels more natural than a lot of the cages that I've used. Now, one of the things that I noticed right off the bat is it's not a very heavy cage at all. It's only adding a little under a half a pound of weight to your camera, which is really not that much at all compared to some of the other cages that I've used in the past. This unit is loaded full of 1/4-20 holes as well as 3/8, so you're not going to have any issue trying to find places to mount things to this camera cage. Not only that, you have full access to all of your ports, your battery door, as well as your memory card door, and nothing's really getting in the way or interfering. If you also use your camera for photography and you don't want to pull your cages off all the time, the hot shoe is still fully accessible. I'm able to put on my Godox V1 with no problems at all, and nothing on the cage interferes with it. Now, one of the other upgrades they did on this unit was underneath the frame, there are now rubber cushions where there are friction points between the cage and the body. Now, this does two things. It prevents your frame from being scratched, but it's also going to give you a nice, more snug fit. One of the things that I have noticed with this cage since I've been using it is it doesn't tend to get loose over time like other cages I've used do. This one is still just as tight on the body as the day I put it on there, and I've been using it roughly for about 3 weeks now on my day-to-day basis using this camera. Now, as far as mounting options, it does have an Arca Swiss base plate, so it will fit into any type of tripod or Arca Swiss mount. As you can see from my video, I do have a quick release plate on mine, which also fits on there perfectly fine and allows me to use any of my already existing quick plate unit. Now, if you're using something like a quick release plate like I am, this unit does come with a magnetic screwdriver built into the bottom of the base that you can remove so that you can unscrew that plate and screw it back on whenever you need to and not really have to worry about going to find a screwdriver. This is also going to be extremely helpful when putting on and taking off other items around the cage. Now, this cage comes in at $59.99, and I will leave a link to the product in my description below as always. So it did take the same price point of the existing cage. Now, be careful when you are purchasing one of these and make sure that it looks exactly like the one in this video. SmallRig is still selling both cages, and they are still both listed, I believe, with the same model number and showing R5 and R6. One of the ways you can easily tell them apart is that this newer version has the SmallRig logo in red across the top of the cage, whereas the old version, the SmallRig logo is just printed on in white, and it's on an angle in the corner where the cold shoe mount is. Now, if you don't do as much video, you can find quite a bit of use with this cage on the photography side. They make quite a few side handles that you can put into the side of this cage that give you just a little bit of extra grip when you're out there taking pictures. Especially if you're doing something like weddings where you may have to take pictures for 7 and 8 hours a day. Just having that little extra handle on there can help a lot throughout the course of a day. Not to mention the added protection if you do happen to bump and drop your camera or someone bumps into you. Now, that's all I've got for this video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down in the comments section below. And with that being said, until next time.